Rev up your engines! People have been studying the worst engines out there, and it turns out one of the worst is the 2011 Chevy Equinox and GMC Terrain, basically the same vehicle, saying that they will probably need engine rebuilds or replacements sooner than later. They're forecasting that the problems occur between 86,000 miles and 124,000 miles, but if I plunked out that kind of money for a vehicle and an engine went out, 90-something thousand miles, I would be furious. I expect my engines to run hundreds of thousands of miles. And they do, because I buy Toyotas and Lexuses. Modern technology and metallurgy, they should last longer and longer, not fall apart because of bad design and bad manufacturing. So my other non-favorite vehicles, the 2014 Kia Optima is top of the list as the worst engine that's going to require rebuilding and replacing faster than all the rest. And also high on the list of engines that will fall apart faster, the Ford Mustang 4-cylinder EcoBoost puts out 300-something horsepower. I have seen them, my own customers have problems. They don't hold up over time. Put a little bitty 4-cylinder engine in a Mustang that was designed for a V8. Sure, it's turbocharged and GDI injection, but they don't last as long. They're overstressed. But going back to the Chevy Equinox and the GMC Terrain, hey, probably not a good idea to buy one of those if they keep making the list of vehicles that need their engines replaced or rebuilt sooner than everybody else's do. Well, for you future Bronco fans or trying to get those new Broncos, it looks like you might not be too happy. It seems that the Ford Bronco is going to use the Ford Explorer 10-speed automatic transmission, the one that's had some problems, and not the one they're using in the Ranger. It's called the 10R60 transmission, where the Ranger uses a 10R80, which is a better transmission, really. Now, since the new off-roader Bronco is going to have 35-inch wheels, maybe not such a smart idea. You want a heftier transmission to handle those big wheels. Now, they don't all come with 35-inch wheels, but that's one of the options, and guys are going to go for a lot of the bigger options. The real fans are starting to complain, saying, hey, we want a heavy-duty transmission for an off-roader, not one that's a light-duty SUV like an Explorer. Ford isn't commenting one way or the other. Of course, if people don't like it, they're not going to want to talk about it. You can also get it with a 7-speed standard transmission. That would be my advice. I am not a fan of any of the Ford 10-speed automatic rear-wheel drive transmissions anymore. I thought they were interesting technology when they first came out, but they've had lots of problems with those things. So, you want to get an off-roader, you're better off with a 7-speed standard. If this is true, and that's what it seems to be, of course it's cost-cutting, they're cheaper to make, So I would definitely want to go with the standard in that case. I'd say nix on the 10-speed automatic. Well, don't say I didn't tell you so, but I did. There's a company called Zero Labs in the United States, and they say they can turn your old Hawk vehicle into an electric vehicle in 24 hours. Yes, 24 hours. Of course, it's a California-based company, and they're not talking about how much money they charge, but they can do it pretty fast. They like the idea of turning classic vehicles into electric vehicles. And of course, once you've learned how to do it, and you got the tools and the equipment and know where to get your batteries and motors from, it can be done. As I forecasted, when electric cars do become very popular, there's going to be an insane aftermarket of guys turning cars into electric cars. Because think about it. Why do you get rid of your car? Generally because the engine or transmission breaks, you don't want to spend the money to fix it, right? Well, if you're changing it to an electric car, that engine and transmission is being thrown away, and they put an electric motor and batteries inside. So there's plenty of cars that maybe they're on their last legs for their engine and tranny, but the rest of the car's in good shape. Why throw the baby away with the bathwater? Convert it. So all these people that are, we're building electric cars, we'll build electric cars. Why spend 65 grand or more on an electric car? You already got a car. Turn it into an electric car. To me, that makes a lot more sense. Of course, the guys that are building electric cars don't like the idea because they're planning on selling you whole electric cars, not just the conversion kit to convert it. But, hey, why not convert it? It only makes sense. C. Calio 4 says, I got a 2001 Dodge Ram. It makes a noise when it starts cold. It's a 3.9 V6 with 157,000 miles. I've had it since I had 130,000. And when I start the car, first thing in the morning, after it's been sitting a few hours, I hear a clacking sound, loud, but it only lasts a few seconds and goes away. I know it's not good, but any ideas what's wearing out, how much time I have left? Odds are the timing chain is wearing out. Tension in the timing chain. When it's cold, it starts and it clacks, and then when it pumps up, then the chain gets tighter. That's often what it is. Sometimes you don't need the whole chain. You can change the tensioner because it's an oil pressure related hydraulic tensioner. But on the other hand, you got 157,000 miles on a V6 engine. The chain's going to be worn too. And then really, if you think about it, the whole engine's probably worn. And a lot of times it's better just to replace the whole engine with a factory rebuild engine. As long as the clacking goes away after a second or two and you can drive it, my advice is I'd just keep driving it. And then if one day it went out, I would just replace the engine, because those V6 engines only have a limited lifespan. You're pretty much on the end of its age span anyway. And if you decide you want to keep the vehicle when the engine finally does go out, then put in a remanufactured engine, or just get rid of it and get a better truck like a Toyota that can go 400,000 or 500,000 miles without clacking and making noise and making you wondering what's wrong. All right, it's time to feel sorry for the Amazon drivers. Those guys work their butts off. My local guys, I'm always asking them, they'll tell me I got to do all these packages every day, deal with this and that and everything else. One guy was even bitten by a dog outside of Conroe, Texas, where I live there. Well, it's gone insane in Florida. A Florida man tried to ram the Amazon van off the road because he didn't deliver him a package. William Ulbrich. And William Ulbrich got mad. So he chased after him and tried to drive him off the road. There's law involved now, so who knows what the truth is. They'll hire lawyers and then everyone will start lying all over the place. For some reason, I suppose the William guy was obnoxious or grouchy or something, and so the guy said, I'm going down the road. So old William and his 2000 pickup truck chased after and tried to ram him off the road. Not a smart move. Those big old Amazon delivery things are bigger than his Ranger, you know? But unbeknownst to William, a police cruiser was by it. On the police cruiser's dash cam, they could see the guys trying to ram the Amazon delivery van with his pickup truck. They even went to meet him on the highway to get room to give a bigger ram, I guess, and the police has it on the dash cam. William was arrested by the police. Obviously, old William is missing a few screws upstairs. He says, I didn't ram the truck, but I would have if I could have. He said this to the police. So now he has charges of reckless driving, aggravated assault, without intent to kill. So feel sorry for these poor drivers. These guys are working their butts off. Give the guys a break. They're doing a great job delivering our packages. And don't go trying to run them off the road. And please, don't be obnoxious to them, you know? I mean, they're the drivers. I'm friendly with mine. I joke around with them, say how crazy our society's become. They're the lifeline now. Everybody can't stand going out to the stores. You want 10 and a half shoes and they only have 10s and 11s, but you get on Amazon, there it is, and the guy brings it to your house. Don't chase them down the road with your truck and try to ram them off. Justin Shepard says, should I get remanufactured brake parts by the OEM or a third-party brand new one? I have all the parts to overhaul the brakes in my 79 Catalina from Rock Auto. To my surprise, it's only $299. That's with everything being OEM AC Delco parts. Now, are remanufactured AC Delco calipers better quality than an aftermarket supplier? Probably. Brake calipers are pretty simple. Right? They're just calipers. They got pistons in them, little rubber rings that are the seals. They go in and out, and they got a boot on the outside. To remanufacture them is nothing. Just bore them out, polish them out, put new seals and new coats on, paint them, and away they go. They're not like rebuilding an engine. They're very simple. And I probably would go for remanufactured OEM ones versus ones that were made, say, in China. Because I've seen the Chinese knockoffs not even fit on a car right. And your life is in your hands with the brake caliper stopping it. So I wouldn't want a chance having something that isn't going to work right in an emergency. Because calipers, like I said, they're pretty simple to remanufacture. It's not a hard thing. And they've been doing it for years. Truthfully, I bought many of them. I've never had one that went bad. You know, it's OEM. It's going to fit the vehicle right. It's probably better than chancing some Chinese knockoff that who knows if it's even the right size. Carlos2468 says, I got an 09 Honda Accord. It eats a lot of gas. Got 138,000 miles. It's great condition. It runs good, but it eats a lot of gas. Anything I can do. Those are decent gas mileage vehicles when they're running correctly. Now, I don't know how long you've owned it. If you got better gas mileage in the past, and you don't now, and you're still driving the same kind of route, and didn't change from being on a highway all the time, and now do all stop and go city driving, which is going to knock the heck out of your gas mileage, then obviously something is wrong. It's a Honda. First thing, change the air filter and the fuel filter. Maybe one of them clogged, can do exactly that. Now, if it's not that, you want to try my video, make your car run better with a little spray cleaner. Try the spray cleaner. It costs you 16, 18 bucks for the 2 cans. You can clean the MAF sensor and the throttle. Maybe that'll help it. Now, if that doesn't help it, watch my other video, how to clean fuel injectors without removal, and pay a mechanic like me to pressure clean it with this equipment. I mean, you can do it yourself, but you'd have to buy an air compressor, buy the $250 tool, then buy the cleaner. It's kind of a lot easier just to pay a mechanic like me 100-something bucks to hook his up and clean it in an hour. Because dirty injectors will do that too. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.